And today is just gonna be another work live stream, so if you're looking for animation tutorials, then you should watch the other videos on the YouTube channel, because this is not a step-by-step tutorial. I just be working on a project. So yeah, this is just a comfy, cozy work live stream, and yeah, we have some work cut out for us today, because I'm gonna continue working on the animation here with the penguin. This is of course for the a game called MS Salmon. This is a wonderful cutscene that I'm animating here for a game, and yeah, so far we have the poses here that we already animated, and yesterday we did a straight ahead scribble for some elements because I wanted to tie them down a little clearer. I wanted to know exactly where the eyes and the beak are for these moments, especially when he's pulling down the head, and I have a nice little overlap between the head comes to a stop and then the hat is still being pulled down. So I wanted to get that right first. Yeah, and then we started with the cleanup already, and we have some clean key poses here already that today we're gonna be building on. So I'm really excited to continue with the cleanup, and of course we can talk about all things art and animation. So feel free to ask any questions in the chat that you might have. Before I jump into cleanup, I need to set up a couple things so I can actually bring up chat messages and stuff like this. All this nice streaming stuff that you can do nowadays with technology. But yeah, so let's continue. We're gonna need the... I'm not sure we're gonna need the straight ahead scribble. Why not? Let's take them both. It's gonna be looking a bit confusing from time to time. So let's pick the next extreme, which I think would be here. This pose, combine it with the scribble, and let's open up a new frame here, a new frame to draw on. So for the head, I'm not gonna look at the pose layer. I'm gonna use the straight ahead pass that we did earlier. So let's take this for the eyes. Is this the right brush size? 5? I should really make it a habit to save brushes. I always forget to do that, and I hate that they reset in Harmony. This is too much. I think it was 6. Yeah, it was 6. All right. So, hi Wolfie, nice to see you. Let's steal the eye from the frame before. I like to do that. It helps me to keep on model, but at the same time I have some living lines because I didn't just copy the line, I drew it, and that makes it a little bit different. Makes the animation feel a little more lively when you don't copy and paste, but you know, just trace things with the slight imperfections. I really prefer that. let's change the eyebrow shape a little bit. I think I would prefer this one to be raised up a little more. Hi Nubino, nice to see you. Okay, for the actual size of the head, we had a head size layer earlier that we can now use as a guideline for how big his head actually is. And yeah, something like this. So a lot of nudging over here. This is where the outer line of his head should be, probably here. And and here. Okay, now let's look at that post that we did a while ago. Thank you, Anil, for subscribing on YouTube. This is a vector software, yes. This is Toon Boom Harmony, and I love my vector software for just being able to grab some vector points and move them around and, you know, change your line so much even after you drew it. I get a bit frustrated on bitmap when I can't like select and grab single lines. For Toonox, this is the cutscene of a game. Thank you, Wolfie, for subscribing. Okay, let's... Again, I'm taking the beak from down here, but I'm gonna put in some perspective. Gonna do it like this. Nudge the middle a bit to the left. So we have some 3D rotation in there, and I'm gonna trace it from down here. Like this, make these connect. Ooh, I think this is gonna be nice with the perspective. Let's flip the drawings. Why not push this even more? Like this. Okay. A couple questions. X Travers, I downloaded OpenToons and I tried it. It was facepalm. Well, did you watch our tutorial first? Because it should answer at least some of the questions. Let me put you the link in the description. Here, this is our OpenToons tutorial. Yeah, this is not for a short film, this is a cutscene of a game. The game is going to be called MS Salmon, and it's gonna take a while till the game is out, but yeah, gotta work on it to make it happen. Alright, I like to do some flipping here. To see how the perspective in the head shifts. I feel like it really helps you with seeing that 3D effect. Nubino asks, can I put my PSD files into OpenTunes? I don't know, but you can certainly export your PSD files as PNGs, and I know for sure that OpenTunes can import PNGs with transparent backgrounds. Like, that certainly works. Cartoonox asks, can you make a tutorial on an animal walk cycle which has 4 legs? Yeah, it can be a real struggle doing those, huh? The Animator Survival Kit, the book from Richard Williams, has some really good tips on how to do walk cycles for quadrupeds. Yeah, I have so much stuff on my list. I definitely, at some point, we're also gonna have a tutorial for a quadruped walk cycle. I think the 2-legged walk cycle is gonna be first. But yeah, eventually I will really make one too. But to be honest, you know, if I were to be doing that, I would have to research first too. I haven't done it in a long time. You know, and research and getting reference is always a really good idea. Find the extreme poses and the key poses in the reference. And then, you know, not trace them, but trace the moments, the key moments. That's already helping. That's already helping a lot if you can do that. Hi, Sammy. Nice to see you again. Okay, so we're really just gonna be tracing. Tracing the lines here, so we have some life in those lines. Thank you for subscribing, Hamlesh. Thank you. So yeah, that's the thing with cleanup, lots of tracing. But you know, no pain, no gain. There we go. And I love this function in vector software when you can just go in and use the cutter and just delete protruding lines like this. It is so helpful. Oops, not that one. This one, this one. Ha 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 ha. Wolfie says, I just started to animate. That's great. Cool. Good luck with that. What did you pick as your first project? Let's do this one next. Okay, again we have a difference between how I did the initial key is this one, and then I later made a straight ahead pass for the eyes, and the eyes are a little bit higher, so we're gonna grab the eyes from there. Yeah, let's again take the eye shape from here, or have it based on this one. Not quite happy with the eye here. That's better, I think. All right, now let's shift them over. Maybe before we continue, we should actually do the end pose first. So this is what the hat is going to end up in. Let's maybe take the eye size from the model sheet this time. And here there could be probably already some foreshortening. Sammy says, I mentioned an app that will notify you when you need to do an anatomy study. Do I remember the name? No, but you know what? I can look it up in the break, can see what it was. Hey, Jin asked, please can you upload this later on your page? Do you mean the live stream? The live stream will be up on YouTube. And the game, it's gonna take forever to finish that, but it's gonna be finished eventually. Okay, so this is where we want to end up in. let's do the rest of this. Where's the head size? Here's the head size. Alright, rest of the cleanup. There we go. Okay, I kind of like it when when it's getting like a really cute model. This tough film noir detective, and it just has a very cute angle. Angles, this grumpy penguin. But I like that contrast. I think that's gonna be really nice in the story. Let's try a slightly different angle for the head than what I tried initially. There we go. Okay. Yeah, the head is always tricky. I'm sorry if I'm not that talkative doing those perspective parts. Let's flip back and forth. We have this, 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 this. Yeah, I think this is okay. Hey, Mr. Creative, nice to see you. Have you ever heard of Dragon Bones Pro? No, Shauria, I don't think I've ever heard of Dragon Bones. Hi, Seven, nice to see you. I'm back too, as you can see. Miraculous that I actually get to stream 2 times in 1 week. Actually, you know, with the stream coming up on Sunday, it's gonna be 3 times in 1 week. It's a record for Animator Island, I think. Or it's gonna be one. Interesting question from... let me see if I can make the... if I can show the comments. Just a second. So, Nightcore 3.0 asked, oh, not showing up on stream. Why is it not showing up on stream? Let's refresh that one. Ah, there we go. Okay, so Nightcore 3.0 asked, what is the approximate time we can start doing short films if we are true beginners? There It's kind of hard to answer because I think on the one hand side, if you are a real beginner to animation, you should definitely do exercises that are just for learning. You should do the bouncing ball, flour sack, stuff like that. The 51 animation exercises that we have on Animator Island is just a list of exercises. If you type that into Google, 51 animation exercises, you will find the list. But of course, you know, it can also be frustrating to just do exercises. So I think it's good to start your own projects. It's good to start animating with your own characters, especially if you're already pretty decent at drawing or at modeling or whatever you need to create the things that you animate. Then you can jump into that fairly early. But it might be a good idea to not immediately start a big project. To start like an entire film, even if it's a short film, even like 2 to 3 minutes, you can easily underestimate how much work that is gonna be. So what I recommend my students nowadays is start with scenes, like just little things, like especially if you want to jump into acting and character animation and you already have a lot of characters that you want to bring to life, then why don't you just animate one gesture of them? Or if you have dialogue, like just 2 or 3 lines of dialogue, not more, and upload that as a little TikTok or Instagram short clip. So this way, you already have something out there. You already created something. You have the feeling of success because you completed a little animation, and it's not as overwhelming as doing like a whole 3-4 minute film. Yeah, so that would be my suggestion. Hi Scott, you're back too. That's great. Is this your personal animation story or commission work? This is commissioned work, but by a friend. So barely feels like work. Because it's a cool story, a cool project with cool people. Now, where's the rest here? Let's see how the collar compares. Okay, the collar of the trench coat dipped down a whole lot. That's good to know. I think I also want to nudge the perspective here a little bit. Yeah, something like this. I think this is nice. And we need to be careful with like the edge of the collar. Like it either needs to be a good few pixels to the screen, or it needs to be below the screen. Like either like this or this, but it shouldn't touch the border of the screen. That doesn't look very good. Hey Clipdome, welcome. First time here? Yeah. Sit down, get comfy, grab a snack. Mr. Creative, how many students teach by you? Well, I sometimes go to universities and teach there. Unfortunately, it's always far too little time. Like, for some reason, a lot of universities think that you can teach animation in just like 6 weeks or something like that. I always wish I had more time with my students. But yeah, so I teach every year around 40 students in the animation classes that I do at universities. So maybe this should really go down all the way. I think that could look really nice. Switch off onion skin, put in the camera frame, do some flipping. Just looking at the collar. Yeah, it grows a little bit. Not that happy with that. So maybe it has to be like this. Mr. Creative asks, are you a self-taught animator? Partly. I started learning animation way before I studied it. But I went to university to study animation. I went to the Film Academy Baden-Württemberg in Germany. And yeah, there I had some amazing teachers and mentors and opportunities to make some really cool student projects. And that was a really awesome time. You know what? Let's put some perspective here. Let's have the patch, because he's turning his arm sideways. It's going from being flat to being a little more in top view. I think that could potentially be really nice. Have all of this shift a little bit over, as you know, as if he moved his arm further. The buttons can drop down again. Yeah, I think I like that. And this patch can vanish behind the arm. So we have some nice perspective going on. Oh, this is sweet. Look at the patches, how much they tell the illusion of perspective. I love little touches like this. Hi Amat from Saudi Arabia. Nice to meet you here. Welcome, lots of first time people here. Come in, get comfy. If you have any questions about animation and art, just let me know and I'll try my best to answer them. Okay, now we are entering in-betweening territory. I mean, this is more like a breakdown. Let's just have the cleanup visible. It's gonna be very confusing. Okay, the beak is just gonna be a placeholder. I think we eventually have to put it on a different layer anyway. Now we need to make sure that we have nice arcs everywhere, that everything is coming out, over in an arc. So, you know, we shouldn't put the middle here of the color. It should be more like coming over in an arc. It should be like here. Like this. Sammy asks, interesting question because I'm not sure I know the answer to this. How do you know when to change the nib of your stylus? At one day, like this is my Cintiq stylus right now. A couple weeks ago, no, I already some months ago, my nib was like all the way down, like almost vanishing into it. And when I drew and I would tilt the stylus a little bit, I would hit the glass with the side of it, and it was like, oh, the like it's disappearing inside of the pen, and that's when I knew like I really need to replace it. I actually had a hard time getting it off, like even with the tool that comes with it. So I do not know. Oh, I'm too loud, am I? I'm clicking here all the time. Let me change that. Okay, this should be better. Is this better? So yeah, I don't know the best time to change the stylus because I always miss it. I always like should have probably switched it out earlier. But you know, it's a slow process of degrading your nib. Sometimes you can see it, like this is relatively new, so it's still like curved a lot, but if it's flat, if it's getting really flat, then you should replace it. And yeah, obviously when you start feeling the surface with the sides of your pen, you should have replaced it months ago. Or weeks ago. Maybe it actually says that somewhere in like the instruction manual. But you know, who reads those? Okay, we have this coming over. Hey Zipson, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. Scott says, after a while you'll notice it feels like it's scratching a tablet, and the nib itself will be flat across the tip. Yeah. I'm an animator, just to say I started new, but I'm not that good drawing. So in order to become a good animator, what should I learn first? Figure drawing, poses, anatomy, cartoon shapes. If you want to get better at drawing, we had that topic yesterday. Figure drawings, new drawings, anatomy studies. And it can really help to have a good teacher. A teacher that can point out, like, look really closely, the muscle is connecting here and the muscle is wrapping around here, and look at where the bone is and stuff like that. You know, because even if you trace it, or seeing is not understanding at the same time. So a good teacher, they will show you what to look for, and that can make a huge difference. So yeah. Alright, so what else do we have? We can put this relatively clearly in the middle. And you know, this is a true breakdown, so most of the stuff is in the middle, just passing through. Sometimes I really do not like that, just having like a boring breakdown where everything is just in the middle. Thank you for subscribing, Kushtoon. Because, you know, sometimes you should use the breakdowns to do something interesting and have the body dip in interesting ways and stuff like this. Actually, that line here, That one should probably dip down too with all the other stuff. Something like this. Yeah, that's better. But you know, here we have a very old-fashioned breakdown. Everything is in transit. Okay, I don't need to be that careful with the buttons because they're not going to be visible anyway, but I like to have them here for reference. Mako Maki asks, do you use video reference? Yes, I do. If it's acting, I do like to act it out myself and try to play it. If it's like a walk cycle or fight or something like this, then you need to find professionals who do that for you. Like you need to look at professional fight choreography and stuff like this. That will make it a lot better. Or like we talked about a quadruped walk cycle earlier. I would totally, whatever I'm animating, I would try to find reference for that in some sort of a nature documentary or something like that. Like even if it's a fantasy creature, I think, especially if it's animals, you can get so many ideas and so much inspiration from real life. I would always research and find reference. Thank you, Prashanta. Love from Germany. Ahmad asks, what is the name of this program and is it free? It is not free. It is Toon Boom Harmony. But, you know, the stuff that I'm doing right now, you could do in OpenToonz, which is free. And Blender has some decent 2D animation tools now. So, you know, there are a couple of options. This is taking shape. I like it. Now for the head. The perspective here is killing me. Let's have it really flat. Because it was curving up in the previous one. And like here it's curving up. And in the next one it's curving down. So here we want to have it relatively neutral. Thank you, Noval, for subscribing on YouTube. Tasty James says, in aspects of animation, I take pose to pose and straight ahead more seriously than other aspects. How exactly do you mean that? Yeah, it's really like you need to base your whole workflow around when do you work pose to pose, when do you work straight ahead. Making that decision consciously can really make your work better. see if we can make this perspective work. I think the corner needs to be here. And the line somewhere in the middle. We're gonna use flipping in a second to check this. I don't think that onion skin is gonna be good for feeling out the 3D-ness of the head. Alright, so let's switch off onion skin. Nope. This should already be a lot further. Like this, maybe? Yeah, this is better. This ain't right here. It's amazing how some things you can only see in context. But, you know, it's a good thing to try to feel these things out. I think this needs a sharp angle here, yes. Alright. I'm gonna be with you, chat, in just a second. I just need to figure this perspective thing out. Okay. Oh, that tricky hat. That's kinda why I wanted to do this frame by frame, because I felt like with the rig and animating vector points, I would just have needed much longer. Yeah. Okay, so shorten this side a little bit. Yeah, I think this is coming together. Okay. Hi, Golden Slime. For a second I was afraid, like, was it Golden Slime or was it Golden Smile? Like this. A huge difference between the two. Makumaki asks, do you use 3D software to animate camera motion or angle? Yeah, sometimes. There was in my diploma project, I did a serial concept for a TV series, and it had like secret agents, and there was a car chase, and the characters were all in 2D, but that car chase moment, the car and the environment, which was usually 2D in the project, for that short moment it was all 3D. And either with a cartoon shader or I traced over it. Okay. Alright, there was one person earlier asking me, yeah, Cartoonox, if you could send... yeah, Cartoonox was asking if they could send me their animation on Instagram and if I could get advice and feedback. And, yeah, I kind of went over to saying no to things like this because I have very limited amount of time. And, yeah, you can always try to send me something. You can always try to write to me. Also, my email address is easy to find, ferdinand@animatorisland.com. So you can write to me very easily. The problem is I'm always extremely busy and sometimes don't have the time to reply. But there is a very cool way to get feedback from me if you want that. Namely, you can support me on Patreon. And, you know, all the usual stuff. You get bonus content, extra videos. But there's also a mentoring tier. And in the mentoring tier, there's a monthly group mentoring session where you can meet with me. There will be a professional mentor like me, or sometimes, you know, we might hire an expert for some other things. And you can bring whatever you're currently working on to this mentorship call. It could be an animation, it could be a drawing, a demo reel, it could be a story idea. I love working with you guys on stories. And we're gonna, if it's animation, we're gonna draw over it. We're gonna give you little tips and tricks and hints and advice on how to improve your skills and how to make your project work even better. So that is the monthly group mentoring on Patreon. And yeah, if that interests you, please check it out on patreon.com/animatorisland. Yeah, 2 people already signed up, and it's so great to see their projects and help them to improve them. And if you want to be one of them, you can join there. Alright, so I'm gonna take a short break, and I'll be back in a second, and then we continue with Lena. See you in a couple of minutes. Bye! And we're back. Yeah, Sammy, don't forget to find the app. I saw your comment before I went into the break. Yeah, I looked into the App Store real quick, and I don't find the exact app anymore, because the problem is if you search figure drawing or anatomy, you find like a bazillion apps. I think the one that I used for, like, I found one called Practice Drawing Portraits and Figures in the Google App Store by fnx.io. I think I only used the free version, and just, I just used it as a better Google search to, have some images ready immediately, but I don't think they had notifications. And for the anatomy, like for studying anatomy, where the muscles connect and where the bones are, I had an app that was named like 3D Atlas Anatomy. But yeah, I also don't think that this one has push notifications to nudge you to work on something. I was thinking as a workaround, you could just, put a slot in your calendar to remind yourself to do practice drawings every day. I do that a lot, actually. If I have something that I want to get done, I just put it into my calendar over the course of multiple days to block a slot where I can work on something. So maybe that will work for you. And there was like an app, Watch to Draw or something like this, that I use too sometimes. It just gives you drawing prompts. It doesn't have anything to do with figure drawings or anatomy. It's just silly ideas what to draw. So yeah, that's the best I can do during a break. But maybe we have time to do like a big search one day and find like the best figure drawing app, the best anatomy app. But I think it's also up to a taste, some people might have a better time with one app than another. Okay, so let's go back to our cleanup, see what we have so far. Oh, nice. Not bad. We're working our way through these drawings. You know what? Let's do the last pose, the end pose. So let's make a new image here. Let's take our head size guide, nudge that one over. Seems like I have some corrections to do. Scott asked for my show reel. Yeah, I do. I think the last time I made a show reel was from 2018 or something like this. It's a little bit out of date because fortunately, before Corona, the next project kept coming, which was pretty cool. So I haven't updated it since. But yeah, I can look for it. It's certainly, I like watching old show reels and reminiscence. What is the word? Like, nostalgically looking back on previous projects. I sometimes it's always like, sometimes it's also like, oh, I knew how to animate that? Cool. Alrighty. I think this is a decent shape. Where did the music go? Hello, Fatima. Nice to see you. Okay, again. These couple lines are so important for the perspective. Here and around here to get a nice top perspective. So which one is the side? Like this is probably the front right here. There. I think it should be the other way around, like this side should be a lot shorter. Like around here. And then the longer side should go back. I wanted. Oh, I need to update my showreel now, really, now that, I really need to update my showreel now that Minute of Island is out. Because there are some cutscenes that I'm quite proud of. That I think I would like to have in my showreel. This hat is so... I'm so happy that during other parts of the game, the character is not wearing the hat. Yeah, somehow time flies a lot, doesn't it, Scott? But I mean, sometimes, fortunately, there are times where a showreel is not really needed because, you know, one job leads to the next one. It's nice when that happens. Yeah, let's just flip. Maybe that was not a good idea with that eyelid. Keep it like that. Yeah. I think that could be nice. What is up with the music? Why do you keep stopping? Yeah, let's take it there. Now it should repeat. Okay, contour point editor and move some contour points around. Is there an XSheet timeline in Toon Boom? Yes. There's even like they have it completely separated from the timeline. The timeline and the XSheet are two completely different things in Harmony. And yeah, what I like, it even has like columns where you can draw on. Annotation column? Yeah, you can make like little notes here, like key breakdown. Like there are other ways to mark keys, but yeah. That's one thing I really like in Harmony. Okay, we're gonna do the we're gonna do the arms on a different layer, on a separate layer. And yeah, but here we need to account for the shoulders being pulled up. Maybe something like this. I need to think about something for the shoulder here. It's gonna be pulled up all the way. Like this. I think it would be nicer if we had like the bend more visible. Maybe we do have to nudge all of this a little bit. Let's see how this looks without all the lines. Yeah, I think we're onto something here. Yeah, I wanted. There should be like. I think there's a text annotation column in OpenToonz, but I would really love it if there was like a column where you can draw on. I mean, I mostly now in OpenToonz annotate by writing into the frames. But yeah, of course, that's not the cleanest solution. Oh, I like this. The beak is gonna be on a different layer too, so we might as well close all the layers. Okay, so let's complete the rest of this. Let's call it clean up body, so we know that we're gonna have some more layers later on. Okay. Let's get the scribble back. Yes, Mr. Creative. I always use the right note to export in Harmony. Okay, he's leaning even further away to the left, which makes sense because the person he wants to avoid is to the right. Okay. I think that this is as good as we can do without the arms. Alright, let's see how the rest of the drawing is at this point. His shoulder is not all the way pulled up yet. pull it down again. This arm is just coming up. This is dangerous to do in betweens like that because I'm so removed from the actual motion. I'm still very pose to pose here. Mr. Creative asks, how do arts college students learn everything in animation within 4 years? Like background, character design, color theory, 2D and 3D animation, editing, etc. Well, you know, sometimes they don't. Like, first of all, it depends on the college. Not every college really offers classes for everything. And then, you know, even when there are classes for everything, it's very rare that a person is really great at every single one of these. Like, usually people have like their special interests and their specialities, and that's what they're looking into the most. Yeah, and that's also the only way you can learn all of these things. You kind of need to tackle one main challenge after the other. All right. Now we have the most important drawings in between. And now we need to go and look at some things frame by frame. Hey Snowfix Art. It's going great, how are you? And I think a good place to start with our cleaning up of the or with our clean in-betweens. We're kind of doing in-betweening and cleaning at the same time. Not something I recommend to beginners. And not something that I should be even doing if I want to have really top-notch animation, but you know, I also have to animate kind of efficiently on this project, so that's why I'm doing that. Okay, so we have an ease here, meaning we are close to the red line. It's offset, like the eyebrow is already going up a lot. And the cool thing is, because we put so much effort into our previous clean drawings, we can be a little, not messier, but I would say expressive in our in-betweens. Thank you for subscribing, or Ernesto. Great to hear that you're doing good, Snowfix. Do you have a video on beginner's guide on Toon Boom Harmony? No, I don't. Yeah, I've fallen a bit behind with making software tutorials. Because those are sometimes outdated, like the moment you finished a software tutorial. That's why I started like, oh, I need to teach more general and like more like how does the acting work, how does ease work in every software. So that's why I don't have that many tutorials. But yeah, who knows? Maybe if Animator Island and the Patreon and everything starts to take off a little bit more, I'll try to get tutorials done for all major softwares. That would be definitely pretty cool. Let's see how this is gonna be. Snowfix asked about tablet drivers in Toon Boom Harmony. I think the problems that I ran into were always like general Windows driver problems. I don't think I ever had like a Harmony specific driver problem. Here. But outdated tutorials can be helpful. Yeah, outdated tutorials can be helpful too. I noticed though that like I was kind of really we now have a great tutorial on OpenToons. I corrected all the things that I wanted to change because yeah, so a while ago I decided to make a tutorial series about OpenToons because I knew that if I'm gonna do a full 2D animation course, I have to decide on a software. You know, because people will have software specific problems and especially if you are a beginner. It's a lot about, you know, where do I click in the software and stuff like that. You can't tell a beginner to like find the timeline, add a frame, like, you know. So I decided I needed to have a software that I need to teach. And so I did my first big OpenToonz tutorial that went about all the basic functions. And then 3 months later, a new OpenToonz version came out, which made bitmap layers the default layer. So 10 minutes of my tutorial, 50 minutes of my tutorial, people couldn't follow because they would start drawing and it would create a bitmap layer instead of a vector layer. And I was talking about the vector tools and how you can grab points and edit them. And so I got a lot of comments like, this doesn't work. Where is this? These tools don't work. And I was really, really busy at the time, so I couldn't immediately make a new tutorial. And, I mean, I kind of understand why they did it, because the fill tool in OpenToonz, in Vector is not the best. But also I felt like the Vector software was like its big strength. Like if I want to have awesome bitmap brushes, there's Krita, which is really good. So I don't know. I'm sure they had good reasons, and I'm sure they were like discussing it a lot in the community if they should change the default layer to bitmap. But yeah, it showed me once again how problematic it is to teach a specific software. But you know, also, oh, hi, Animators Inspire. Also, one thing that kind of disheartened me, like, I have awesome tutorials on the channel about, like, follow through and, like, basic animation principles and basic design and acting. And they are gone now. People do not find them. Like, there's barely any traffic to them. But they have knowledge that is true for any animation software. Like, you know, acting is acting. It doesn't matter if you do acting in Maya, in Moho, in Harmony, in OpenToonz. But, you know, the YouTube algorithm is completely hiding them now. There are barely any new people watching these videos. But as soon as I make a video that is like, how do you do that in OpenToonz? There's like a steady stream of people going there. And I understand that, you know, that is what people search. They try to do something and it doesn't work, export in OpenToonz, so they make a Google search and they found this video. But I find it kind of sad that, like, especially in the early days of Animator Island, it was all just about, you know, the art and the basic concepts of animation that are true in every software. They barely don't get any traffic anymore because people don't search for that. You know, people search for, where's the button for this? But they don't search for, like, what is good acting and things like that. I don't know. So I try to sprinkle that into my tutorials whenever I do a software-specific one. But yeah. All right. Let's see how that looks. Ooh. Yeah, that hat is working out how I want it. Like, just with the cheap perspective tricks that we did. Already looking pretty decent. Okay, so those need to come up very slowly. Kind of wanted to have like a little bit of an, like there shouldn't be much happening yet. It's just like a moving hold or something like that. Barely any motion. Thomas Kress is asking, do you prefer animating traditional frame by frame or with rigged characters? Well, right now I'm realizing how much work frame by frame animation is again. I haven't worked on a frame by frame project in forever because everybody is always doing rigs because it can save time. And like, I do like frame by frame, especially for the moments where you get to animate straight ahead. Like, I'm always for a pose-to-pose workflow, planning out your poses carefully, blah, blah, blah. But then if you have a moment that you can follow, frame by frame, I feel like you feel so much closer to the art and to the motion, and you can really go along with it. Like, that's something that I really like about frame by frame. Oh, did the internet cut out? You guys still there? I had it once this week that the internet was going down. But no, everything seems to be in order. So yeah, I really love that about frame by frame, that you have this closeness to the motion, to the drawings. I think is very difficult. This feeling or the motion, I feel like it's very difficult to get with rigs or like even in 3D. Yeah, but I do love the advantages of rigs, and I really appreciate a very cool rig. Like, I love 360-degree rigs. Like, I see it as a challenge. Like, whenever I do rigged animation, I see it as a challenge to make it so that the audience doesn't feel that it is a rig. Like, that's always one thing that I strive for when I create rigs. And that's a very interesting challenge in its own. And it also depends on the project, I guess. You know, if you have a project with a lot of dialogue, where it's just about talking, I feel like doing that frame by frame is just a waste of effort. I mean, you can still do cool things in dialogues and in acting with frame by frame animation. Of course, you know, when budget isn't an issue, frame by frame would be wonderful to just sit on your frame by frame animation forever. But, you know, if you have like, this needs to be done as quickly as possible, and then I love that rigged animation can save so much work. And then, you know, it's the job of the animators to have it still look decent. Snowfix says, I think the reason conceptual videos don't get a lot of views is that people, beginners, don't know about the concepts yet. Yeah, I mean, that makes it hard to Google. Like, if you have never heard the term follow through, you're not gonna Google that. That is true. Yeah, so I really hope that the way that I envision my 2D course playlist is that I hope that beginners will find it, that playlist, and they can just play on the first video and they can just keep watching for hours and find like all the important information in the playlist. Like that would be my vision for my 2D course, that it like really covers everything. Today I was actually doing some animations and recordings for the follow-through tutorial that's gonna be in that series. Yeah, but it's a very slow process to create all these tutorials. And you know, I also realized like there's a newsletter, by the way, for the 2D course. And I realized I have one big problem because I have such a slow pace creating the tutorials that by the time I put out the next tutorial, some people aren't beginners anymore because at that time they learned on their own and stuff. And but you know, slow and steady is the only way that I could ever get a project that big done. IX1 asked, do you use the mouse to animate? No, I use the Wacom pen on a Cintiq. Oh, we have the buttons easing in here too. There we go. And you know, once I'm done with the 2D course, which might be in a couple years with the speed that I'm going. But yeah, eventually I'll be done with that, and then I would really love to do a 3D course. Also to push my own 3D skills, because you know, I know about all the basics. I learned 3D animation too. And I would really like to get back into that and also get more practice doing it. And well, maybe actually before I do the 3D stuff, I think what we really need to do here on Animator Island, we need to make a short film together. I feel like, you know, the one that I started on live stream a while ago with the bear trying to brush his teeth and that ending in mayhem. We need to make a nice little short film together, and I'm gonna show every single step of the process. Yeah, that's probably gonna be the next project, or a project that I might even start doing while I'm still creating the 2D tutorials. Because I haven't made a short film in like 6 years, like my own short film. I've worked for clients commercially, you know, make a living, pay rent and that stuff, but I haven't done like a personal project in over 6 years. That shouldn't be like that, right? I mean, I guess Animator Island is my personal project, but it's not a film, it's not a short film. Animators Inspire suggests maybe you could do a live tutorial. Yeah, I will try that. I have a couple ideas of things that I want to do live. And I also want to have like there will be a live stream version, and there also will be a cut down. Like we're doing like a 3-4 hour live stream, and then there will be like a 15-minute version of it just saying what the steps are. That's a thing that I definitely want to try. Yeah, that's a good idea, I think. Okay. It's starting to look nice. Yeah, thank you, Animators Inspire. Talking to IX1, I'm using Boom Boom Harmony, indeed. But, you know, right now we're not doing anything that you would actually need Harmony for. This frame-by-frame stuff you can easily do in OpenTunes as well. Alright. Hey you. Yes you, I'm talking to you. Do you want to join our monthly group mentoring session? There you can bring every month whatever you're currently working on. It could be an animation, it could be a story idea, it could be a demo reel, and then we discuss it in the group, and a professional mentor like me will give you feedback and advice on how to improve it, and yeah, how to not only improve your project but also improve your art skills. That is the monthly group mentoring on Patreon, and you can check that out down here on patreon.com/animatorisland. And yeah, of course, there's also, you know, general Patreon stuff. If you support us in the first tier, you're gonna get access to exclusive videos. But yeah, I'm really excited for this group mentoring and to see what projects you're working on, and I will help you to succeed and work on them. Yeah, I'm gonna get more water, take a short break, and I will be back in a couple of minutes. Before I go into the break, Snowfix asked about Discord. Here's the thing with Discord. I get asked for a Discord server all the time, and I really want to do one, and I think it's an awesome way to connect with people and also to connect other people with each other. I think we have an awesome community here. But I only want to open up a Discord server when I know that I have the time to be there every day, so that people ask a question in the Discord server that I can also participate. And, you know, especially if the group mentoring is going along, there will be projects that we can do together and stuff like that. So I'm thinking about this. I have some cool plans for that. But I'm probably tying it to, like, when I have 10 mentoring students in the group mentoring tier on Patreon, then I'm gonna open a Discord server, and then I hope that it can be a very active one. Because, you know, it is funded by the Patreon stuff, and I know that I have time to be there and help you guys out and help you with your questions. So, you know, I don't want to have another dead Discord community. I have a couple of Discord server on my Discord, which I just unfortunately just fell asleep. So yeah, that are my thoughts. That talking is difficult. These are my thoughts about Discord. Alright, so I'm gonna take a quick break, and I'm gonna be back in a couple of minutes, and we're gonna do more cleanup. See you in a bit. Next break I should get a warm drink too. I got my glass of water. But yeah. Or something cold, like iced tea or something like this. Not really warm out here, like, you know, for Germany. No, it is getting quite warm now, fortunately. But no, this is wrong. Where is my screen? There. All right. Let's do the E-frames for our wonderful penguin coming down. So, classic E's. We just draw close to the red line and everything will be fine. It will be fine. What do you guys like to do during tedious work, like in betweening? Do you have any podcasts or music suggestions? Animators Inspires asking about the group mentoring. I only have 2 students right now. And one I'm meeting for the first time next session. So, yeah, but I'm always excited to meet new people. And right now I'm the only professional mentor on it. But I plan to, as the group grows, I plan to hire other animators. And, you know, maybe, or especially animators that are experts in fields that I'm not an expert in. So you get different kinds of advice from different people. So that's the plan for the mentoring group. Yeah, cleanup work. Yeah, in 3D during splining, that is the tedious process there. I have to confess, when I do 3D, I barely do, like, I try to do as much as the easing with keyframes. Like I try to avoid like the classic splining process that I learned in school where you were just in the graph editor forever. I try to minimize that as much as possible nowadays. I'm not sure if that is a mistake. But like, you know, my 3D animations have like a bazillion keys because I try to do all the eases with keyframes only. And for me, the curve editor is more like checking if an ease is too strong or something like this. But then I would like move the keyframe. I wouldn't do much in the graph editor. Okay, lads. Since learning how to rig, I thought it would be painful, but weight painting and controller recreations is a lot more interesting than I thought. Yeah. Yeah, no, I can understand. like weight painting and like even trying different things in weight painting to see how it works. Yeah, that can be meditative, I guess. I'm so sad that Moho doesn't have weight painting for the vector points. Like, there is weight painting for when you mesh an image, but yeah, I really miss it. Like, I loved it in Spine. In the game animation software that we were using on Minute of Islands. Spine has so many cool features, and weight painting there is really great too. Actually, like the I think it took them forever to add real weight painting, but it's definitely a big step for rigging. Okay, that says make way too many keys, then cleanup is deciding which keys to keep. Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. Scott says, I block down on 2s using a pretty tight workflow that gets you about 80% of the way there. Yeah. And it's also cool, like, if you have like a blocking that is like on 2s, you have something to show to a director very early on, rather than like, okay, I have 4 keyframes on my timeline and I'm going to do the rest in Spline. I had a couple of people I studied with. They were amazing. Like, they would they did awesome creature animation, and they only had a couple keyframes on the timeline. They did it all with, like, they didn't animate in stepped, they animated it in Bezier interpolation directly, and it is so amazing. But in the beginning, when they started working on an animation, you're always like, what are they doing? Like, I don't see it yet. It always looked like floaty and weird until suddenly it made click and all the curves were in the right place, and then it was amazing creature animation. But yeah. Interesting conversation going on in the chat. I need to draw a couple lines first before I can continue reading. Wait. So we're gonna... that here. I thought, like, initially I thought it would be easier to live stream while doing cleanup than animating, but I feel like it's difficult to keep up with the conversation in the chat during cleanup because I have to look at the screen that much. And when it's more like planning an animation, when it's more like planning the pose, I can be like, oh, and here we have the head, I can turn over, and then we have the shoulder here. Like, you know, you have like a visible thing much more when we just like scribbling. And then I can look over in the chat and stuff. But with the cleanup right now, my eyes are just glued to the screen. And you know, during posing, I can talk about more different things, acting related and stuff like that. And here's all like, yeah, we're doing the E's now for 10 minutes. People that animate without being in steps are wizards. Yeah, Kayla, it's... I actually, a lot of 2D animators are doing that. When they like 2D rigs involved, I feel like a lot of people don't switch it to stepped. Keys on odd numbers, like Scott says, keys on odd numbers like 1, 5, etc. And I put what I call a functional breakdown on 3, which leaves the computer very little room to interpolate. Very, very good strategy. Like, I was so happy when I discovered that strategy. Or, like, my mentor at the Film Academy, Andreas Hikade, he was always like, you need to, like, put all your drawings on odd numbers. Right there, put a breakdown there. Really good strategy. I'm so glad that was one of the things that I was taught. Out of all the things I wasn't taught at the Film Academy, like this was life-changing. Anim Dojo, I need to write the people back. I talked to some Anim Dojo people a long time ago at the FMX, and we always wanted to do a collaboration something. Oh yeah, Scott, picking up tips and tricks from the people that you work with, that is so important. That's like, I feel like that is the other half of animation education. Interesting. Anim Dojo will be doing 2D animation. Cool. Yeah, I was found it very interesting, like their model, and that they're like connected to like a actual animation company. I think makes a lot of sense. I really should check out Kakani. I always wanted to. Hey, Ariman. Thank you for subscribing. Because it can help you to do the in-betweens. You still have to manually tell the computer which line is what line. But it can interpolate it a little bit. Eventually I want to have a closer look at mobile animation tools too. I don't have a tablet with pen support right now. This is kind of why why I haven't been more interested in that. But eventually that would be super nice to just, you know, sit down somewhere on the balcony, in the garden, or in a cafe and just scribble a quick animation on a tablet device. And it's pretty interesting. Now the ease in. You know what? Let's more or less trace the facial features and just shift them up then. This way we can be very sure that they are consistent. Wolfie asks, any trick for beginner animators? And Kale Arts, that's like saying, is there any trick for beginner nurses? Yeah. Study, lots and lots of study is the trick. Yeah, I would also advise, like, it's really good to have like your own characters and your own stories that you want to work on, but you should always, like, right from the beginning, make practice like a core part of your daily routine. Don't only do the fun stuff, don't only do the fun characters that you would like to do, but, you know, do all those exercises that need to be done. Bouncing ball, flour sack, body mechanic, parkour course, stuff like this. And that takes time. Still have to shift these up. There we go. Ah, Thomas. Honey is good. Lineup interpolation Blender 2.93 gotten a lot better. That is cool. Okay. Yeah, I really need to check out Blender. I actually did secretly, because I was thinking like, oh, maybe we could do a little project there, a little live stream there. And I have to say, I really like how the brushes feel, how the drawing tools feel. They're really onto something. Was a bit surprised that the fill tool cannot fill or leave holes empty. Apparently that's a difficult thing to calculate. So there are only like tricks, like if you want to fill a donut, it will always fill the hole in the donut. The way that the fill tool works right now in Blender. Hey DVA mechanics, lurking in the stream. Nice to know that you're there. Scott says, everyone always wants to run before they can walk in animation. Just talk straight to the character, stylized dialogue shots. Yeah, good exercise suggestions. Thank you, Scott. Bouncing ball, brick falling. A character shifting weight from one leg to the other. A character jumping. Oh boy. I feel like this character has far too many lines. But I mean, it is already very reduced. I'm even happier now that I have a rigged version of him. And I don't have to animate all the shots frame by frame. Walking downstairs is quite a fun exercise. Oh yeah, okay. Ooh yeah, it makes it, if you if you have a character walking downstairs, you're really forced to have him walk out of the controller. That's a really good, like out of the master root bone. That's a really good idea. Yeah, I'm using the pencil right now for no particular reason other than that the pencil line, you can change the thickness both by clicking at the lines, clicking on the lines and changing the thickness, but also with the node in the compositing nodes, you can also change the thickness of lines, the width, and you can change the width depending on the camera. If you come closer with the camera, you can have the lines stay the same and stuff like that. And I don't know, I just got really used to having that choice even after I did my lines. But yeah, I'm not super happy with the line right now. I think at some point I need to do some more tweaking with the brush. And the fill tool is something sometimes a little bit difficult with the pencil. Well, we will see. Still about the walking downstairs animation, Kayla says that's why most characters get the cowboy shot walking downstairs, so the animator never has to animate the feet. Yeah, it's, it's just moving the body controller. No, I didn't see the Moho upload from yesterday. Okay. Maya Indie is only about 280 a year? Really? Because I know that I was looking into Maya a couple months ago, probably a year ago by now. I was like surprised by how expensive it is. Like the real Maya cost like 300 per month or something like this. Oh, on project less than 100k. Alright, I should look into that. Animator Island is definitely not making 100k. See this stuff down here anyway. Oh, yeah. Oh, people, all this work is worth it. I forgot a line here. We're gonna fix that. Oh, nice. It's nice to see that we're actually getting somewhere. I like the illusion of 3D in the head. It's amazing how that works. Thank you, Sarah, for subscribing on YouTube. Yeah, sure, the 100k. Like, I've seen that a lot in software licenses, you know, it's like, if anyone in the chain makes more than 100k. Yeah, I mean, and that makes sense, right? If you have a client who is like a car company, they should pay a proper wage so that you can have the full version of Maya. I think what I looked in earlier was like they had like a version for indie game artists, but it couldn't open some of the rigs because it would miss some rigging features. And yeah, so back then I gave up looking into lesser versions of Maya or special versions of Maya because I somehow saved it in my head that they only had versions that were limited in functionality. I don't think I like the eyebrow overshooting that much. Let's have it smaller. It's a little bit softer. We need this one down here to be really soft. I do like the offset in the eyebrows though. Don't get Maya LT, it's a scam. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, I had a different, I had a similar feeling after I saw it. I was like, why would anyone get this? Like, it's so limited, and it feels like you're basically paying for a trial version that makes you miss the real one at every corner. Yeah, okay, it's not perfect, but it will have to do. Now we're gonna switch the facial features onto a different layer. At least the eyes for now. Yeah, let's make an eye layer. Clean eyes. Animators Inspire asks, is my PC bugging or has Windows released Windows 11? Not released, I think, by a long shot, but they have announced it. They don't even list Maya Indie on their website. You have to search for it, and it's in its own little branch of the website. Okay, I'll look into that. Like, that would be something that I hope one day the Patreon money could go towards. To get a Maya license and then have some actual Maya content here. I do have an educational license of Maya, but I'm not allowed to use it for the YouTube channel. Because the YouTube channel, I asked them, I wrote a message to them. Maybe I should just not have written them. But, you know, I'm German, so I play by the rules. I wrote to them and was like, is it okay to use Maya educational license for a YouTube channel, blah blah. Because, you know, I'm working on, I'm teaching at those universities. And, yeah, and I also was asking if Animator Island would qualify as a educational institution? And of course, no, a YouTube channel does not qualify as an institutional, as an educational institution, and I am not allowed to show a screenshot of my that is the educational thing because I'm making money with YouTube. I'm making $2 per video, and that's, you know, that's commercial. So I need to be accredited by the state. One day, Animator Island will be an animation school. Who knows? Tasty Jam 03 says, I'm practicing tweening animation in KineMaster. Isn't KineMaster adding software? You can set keyframes there. That's cool. Okay, so we have the eyes on a separate layer. And let's see what the scribble says. Oh, the scribble has Wolfie, why was music playing like the situation? Some might say it's a coincidence, others might say it's the universe aligning. I hate doing stuff like this. Like, we don't have a top hat layer, so I have to do the line here. I do hate doing that. Because, you know, if you don't do this carefully, or later on we decide we want the hat to be in a different way. Yeah. Fortunately, no one is seeing that, right? we should make a layer to cover up the eyebrows. I'm not happy with that. I hate it when I see it on like TV shows. Not masking their animation properly or adding a layer because they were too lazy. But here I am, being too lazy as well. Okay. Let's have the eyes returning. I'm just gonna leave this with no in-betweens, I think. I really like it. Hi, Thiago. Nice to see you. I'm fine. How are you? Okay, lads, if you want to know the true animation experience, check out Ben's Claymation clip from Parks and Rec. I was so... like... I have to say, I don't even remember it exactly, but I know that when I saw it, I was like... I was laughing so much. I loved it. Okay, lads, well, at least put a breakdown with a little movement leading the motion. We will see, we will see. I think ease out would be nice. That's where we have shooting up. Let's copy this one. The eyebrows still up. I liked it more when it was just popping into place, I think. Because this doesn't give it enough of a pause. Oh, maybe like that. Iago, I'm having problems with art school. I need to finish a movie next month. I'm fine, lol. Oh yeah, I mean, finish a movie, that is a lot of work. But yeah, good luck with that. It's so crazy that, like when you're in it, like when you're in the college crunch time, like it feels like it's all so much and so big and everything. And then in the end, like when it's all done, I'm always amazed of how we animators, like just with a couple days after that, a couple days after finishing a project or finishing a film, we're like, oh, I could do this again. I do the next project. Like, you don't learn from the pain. All right, let's see how we continue here. One minute and 30 seconds, no color. Oh yeah. 1 minute and 30 seconds can be really long. There we have it again. Kalad says, use that camera to your advantage. Thank you, Manmohan93 for following. Welcome aboard. Yeah, just cut in close. Like, you know, the shot that I'm animating right now, like, we could just cut close like that, and you know, that will work too. Don't show the character walking down the stairs. Okay. And ease and ease and ease and ease. So wonky. Do I draw that again? Yes, I draw that again. So we are doing quality. Not much better, but it will do. Let's have the eye go up. Kayla, listen, I animate for TV production standards. You got a shortcut where you can. Yes, indeed. Work smarter, not harder. But honestly, that's a thing that has to be learned first. I saw so many, like, when I teach, so many students start with like a full shot, like, or even worse, like they are on a theater stage. You see the whole character from the top of their head to the bottom of their feet. I'm like, why? Like, first of all, this doesn't create any tension. You're not using the camera for storytelling. It's not all about saving work. It's also about, you know, making the audience see what's going on. And I feel like, you know, that sometimes in the beginning is really overlooked. Sammy, it's almost 3 hours. Yeah. I wanted to get all the cleanup done today, but you know, as always, the goals are optimistic. And reality is not like that. Looking forward to see how this motion looks in cleanup, though. I think it's really gonna be cool with the hat shifting to the side. That says the first thing I learned were the different kinds of camera shots and built my boarding around that. Then built the scene motions around the board's camera. Yeah. That's like, it changes so much. Like once you realize that that is the workflow to go with. Ah, thank you, Kaylards. We enjoy our time with you. And I'm always happy to see you streaming, man. Yeah, and I'm always happy to see you in the chat and all the other wonderful people. It's definitely... like, I feel like I discovered this year streaming more and more as an alternative for working in an office. Like, you know, where you have people around you and you can just chat during lunch and stuff, or, you know, having somebody next to you. Ah, the old times. Absurd how the world used to be. Yeah, it is so labor intensive. Any kind of animation. It's insane to do something like this. It's getting really hot in my office. Unfortunately, like during the time I stream during the evening, this is the time where the sun shines into my office. I have long dark curtains to block everything out, but if the windows get heated up, it's coming through. Yeah, draw a blink before looking up, Thomas. I was thinking about that too. There is not that much time, unfortunately. Like, this is the audio file timing. I'm thinking about losing the look to the right, because it's kind of repeated again when he rolls the eyes. Let's make this a lot later. But yeah, I think this is something we have to still feel out as we're going. Yeah, this is not working if you go down too early. We definitely need to do a blink like somewhere around here. Like, I think definitely when you're coming over from there, that would be good. All right. On Sunday, we're gonna have a special kind of live stream. We're gonna, I'm gonna meet with two of my colleagues. We worked a couple of years back. We worked on a project called Minute of Island. You can see the game trailer right here. It's an adventure puzzle game. And on Sunday at 4:30 Central Europe time, we're gonna meet and talk about the animation that we did for this game. We're gonna play the game a little bit and also show some of the rigs that we created in Spine. Esoteric Software Spine is the software that we used to do the animation. And we're gonna do a little bit of a making of, behind the scenes talk, tell you about the production, and yeah, how we worked on the animation for this game. It's called Minute of Islands. And yeah, the stream is taking place on Sunday. So the best thing, if you're interested, just look it up on YouTube. It will tell you the time in your time zone. That's always kind of a difficult thing. I just love the art. Like, the art direction in this game is so amazing. And there's so much detail in it. It was a lot of fun animating this. So yeah, that's Minute of Islands, and there will be a big making of stream on Sunday. And we're gonna make a little break once again. Give me a couple minutes and I'll be back in a second. Okay. So, did everybody get their coffee? I used the chance to get some tea. Yeah. Oh, cereal, even better. Okay, let's got some cereal. That is a good idea. I still need to think about like, what would good stream food be? Like something that I can just snack on while I'm streaming. I guess if it's crunchy, I need to mute the mic. So not that I'm like eating chips here and going. Alrighty. Well, where we had that ease. Yeah, we need to have this as the ease. Ah, okay, and then this is a breakdown. Ah, okay. I should have written that down somewhere. I almost would have eased into that one too, but this is just in the middle of the motion. Yeah. Okay. Go black silhouette when eating. Marshmallows. Yeah, they will definitely give me energy back. Ah, that's one thing I miss from America. Like, I mean, I guess I could do them here in Germany too, but we always did like s'mores when we had like a campfire or something with the family. So marshmallows with chocolate and biscuit cookies. Noodles, the slurping sound alone. Alright, I feel like we need to keep the eye in that corner, at least with a clear tendency to the right for a little longer, so that the eye roll really reads as such. Not have it be perfectly in the middle. Why are the lines getting so much thicker uncontrollably? I do not like that. I feel like this is not... Like my pen pressure is relatively even. Well, apparently it is not. And here we finally have the beak going into 3D shape. Probably should have drawn the outline first for the head. And go a lot bigger on the motion. Right, we need to make sure that there's enough space at the right for the this black part to get wider. Ah, okay, lads. Drawing hand is wobbly from an old injury. So sorry to hear. But yeah, this is actually one of the things that also scares me a little bit about 2D animation and basing my career on it. Like, you know, if something would happen to the hand. Kinda, it could put you in a tough spot. But then I think, you know, if something would happen to me, like that I couldn't draw anymore, or you know, and with what is this called in English, carpal tunnel syndrome and stuff like that, it really does happen that people cannot work as animators anymore because the hand just couldn't handle it anymore. So I always, like, in the back of my mind, I have this plan, like, if really I have to stop animation or 2D animation, I think I would focus more on storytelling and writing. But yeah, it's kinda tricky. Balu asks, what is the best book in animation learning? And Kellad's honesty, you're gonna get the same answer no matter who you ask. Animator Survival Kit. Yeah, that's a solid thing to start with. I also, you know, the animators, like, owning the Animator Survival Kit and doing the animations in the Animator Survival Kit are two different things. I feel like a lot of people have the Animator Survival Kit in their bookshelf, open it and nod and are like, oh yeah, that all makes a lot of sense. But the thing with the Animator Survival Kit, I think you really have to use it how it is written. Like, it's written as an instruction book how to do these animations, and the best way is to actually do them. How dare you to call me out so rudely? I remember, like, the moment for me was like, very early on I had to do a walk cycle and I just copied it from the instructions of the Animator Survival Kit. Which basically, you know, for walk cycles, that's the thing you do. There are a couple things that you need to stick to, and the Animator Survival Kit just has them laid out. And then that is when it made click for me that, hey, I just need to do what this book says step by step. Or I could do that. I think one of my old teachers, he would probably be like, he doesn't like the Animator Survival Kit so much because it has a little bit of a painting by numbers feel, even though Richard Williams always said, like, try your own things, try to vary it, try to go with your feeling, try to find the emotion. Like, those things are in the Animator Survival Kit, but it is very tempting to just copy Richard Williams' timing and not even try to come up with your own. it just made my corner far too smooth. It's one of the things that can really make an animation jittery. Okay, lads, they need to make an Animator survival kit for 3D artists. Yeah. Really has a different set of principles that adhere to most, but not all of the traditional hand-drawn animation. Yeah, definitely. I like the approach to... I mean, you see it in the 12 principles. Like, one of the 12 principles is like solid drawing, where, yeah, of course, that is important in 2D animation, but, you know, in 3D, your drawing is solid. But there are other ways to break your model or to do jarring stuff that will throw your audience out of the illusion. There really is a different focus, and you know the way how you work also changes everything. Okay, let's solid drawing becomes solid posing. Yeah. I don't know if I like this eyebrow at all. Maybe it should be a bit more... Maybe just to have to mellow it out a little bit. I mean, he is kind of annoyed that she is interrupting him drinking in the bar. Yeah, okay, lads, in 3D, like, raking the rig towards the camera, that's one of my favorite things to do in 3D. Like, I'm merciless when it's like, oh, but the bone doesn't move like that, then I'm like, I do the craziest stuff, like rip out bones in ways that they're not supposed to be. And then, you know, sometimes I'm a bit annoyed that I break the rig and it breaks some frames later or something like that, but yeah. Ah, thank you. It definitely reads as annoyed and not angry. Okay. Yeah, I don't want him to look too angry. Also I think there's also, maybe if we try with the pupils again, I think there's also a difference of like, if he stares into the distance more, like, maybe that would be nicer. Like looking at all that liquor behind the bar that he would like to drink. Maybe. Yeah, I think I like this more. That he has this small moment of like an empty stare before he goes to reacting to her actual position in the room. All right. Let's do cleanup for the hat, because that was the trickiest part here. And we already did the... Yeah, we already did the... rough animation here in the scribble layer. Thomas is suggesting maybe he should press the lips together. Yeah, something like that. That's a good idea. We're gonna worry about the beak later. I'm gonna put it on an extra layer anyway. And it's also the way that the voice actor sounds very particular. So maybe we can get more inspiration from that. Ugh. The breath is relatively long. I think the... Ugh. I think the mouth needs to stay open. But it could like nicely melt into the shape when he starts talking. Okay. This is definitely the lowest point for the hat. So let's tie that down. And then have the ease frame. Okay, let's see how that looks. Oh, don't see anything with all these layers. There's a big hole in the animation. Okay. Should probably be lower. Yeah. And then this can just be still coming as an ease. Thank you, Dilyot Singh, for subscribing on YouTube. Your weekend is Wednesday and Thursday, Kalards? Is that like a conscious decision that you shift like work to the actual weekend and keep 2 days free? No, we got it. Let's have that ease more. Oh, it's a dead-end day job. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have a lot of choice with these. But I'm doing that too right now. Like, when this whole, you know, the situation that the world currently has started, I started working at a e-learning company. So Monday to Wednesday are already taken by that job. Yeah, before the pandemic I was doing freelancing. It also has its ups and downs and disadvantages. Oh, I totally forgot about my tea that I got a minute ago. Take a sip now, and of course, fitting to the live stream, I got this awesome mug that we have in the Animator Island shop. It's all around bouncing balls of different spacings. So if you want one of these, we have them on the website. And it makes drinks taste a lot better. Asterix, no, it doesn't do that. It's so stuffy in here. I have the window open now. I hope you can't hear too much of a street noise. But yeah, otherwise it's too hot. And I'm drinking tea. But honestly, I think, you know, sometimes when it's hot, like I like to drink warm drinks. And I think they make you sweat less than if you drink cold drinks and your body has to heat them up first. Kaylot says the hardest part about having no experience in industry is that these internship positions are all like must have 2 years animating experience. Yeah, this is so silly. I think this is actually like that in many other career forms too, where they're always like, yeah, we look for people with work experience, and that's... And I think it is a mistake, because new people, like people fresh out of college or people for whom that is this first job, they put a lot of work into it. Like they really... yeah, they really want to bring their best. I don't understand why everybody's only looking for experienced people all the time. And you know, having experience also doesn't mean necessarily that you are a fun person to work with and stuff like that. So, you know, there are lots of other aspects. And I have to say, I also always had very good luck with the interns that we had, for example, at Studio Fispin. There was like one of the interns, Momo, it was so amazing. Like, I showed her how to do a couple of things, and she like immediately went to create amazing animations, and she only had like a little bit experience at that point, and was adapting to our weird workflow very quickly and stuff like this. That's the other thing, you know, you might have weird in-house workflows in a company where that experience doesn't, I don't know. I mean, of course, experience always matters, but... like, if I had a company, I think I would make it a thing hiring inexperienced people, quote unquote. Because, you know, you can... I mean, it costs time to educate them maybe to the exact ways of how you want things to be done, but then you have people who learn from you and learn the exact way of how you want them to animate. And I think that can be very valuable. Yeah, stream is lagging, I see it too. I don't think it's getting better, the lag here, unfortunately. But it must be my internet connection. The CPU and everything is still okay. Alright, I think we have to cut it off here today. Stream quality is really bad, unfortunately. But yeah, if you can still hear me, everyone, thank you very much for being here with me today. It was a very nice stream. Lots of interesting conversation in the chat. And yeah, thank you so very much for hanging out with me. I hope you have an interesting day wherever you are in the world. Keep on animating, and I hope to see you again in another stream. Thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you again. Bye bye.